Welcome to the top of the morning show. It's your girl TTfromtheD, and I want to thank you for stopping by and enjoying the top of the morning show. There are several other podcast shows you could have tuned into, but you chose to rock with us, and I am super excited about that. This morning's topic, we're going to unpack balancing family and career, a guide for women. Now, you know as I know if you are a woman. Now, fellas, don't feel slighted and don't get jealous. I got something for you coming up too. But this morning, we're going to talk about the ladies, okay? Because as women, we often navigate the challenges of balancing family responsibilities with our professional responsibilities. And in today's time, women are more on the rise. We are taking the seats of CEOs and presidents and VPs. We're leaping out on the faith of entrepreneurship without looking back. We're tackling the workforce like no other time in the past. And the pressure to excel at both is crazy. Crazy. Women are expected to be effective mothers, effective wives, and effective caregivers, caretakers, while also excelling in their careers, right? And it can be overwhelming, it can be draining, it can be taxing, because we have to figure this out, figure that out, and then balance out everybody else while we're in the midst of juggling. But with the right mindset and the best practice and moral support, it can be done. Now, we'll dive into 5 key strategies that can help us, ladies, with balancing our family career and all the other roles we wear, because we wear many hats without sacrificing one for the other and without risking burning ourselves out. Okay, number 1, set priorities and boundaries. Now, that's the first step. Because a lot of times we have these invisible fences and we treat life as invisible when really there should be an electric fence. So we can balance it out between family, profession, careers, right? Taking the time to reflect on what you value the most, because you value all those things. You value the people you love, whether it's a family member, a child, a spouse, a friend, co-worker, classmate, your neighbor. And it would also help give us clarity so we could serve ourselves with being aligned with making the best decisions as we shoot for the stars. And don't forget, while we're setting these priorities, it's essential to be honest with yourself. A lot of us take on more than we can chew, or I should say more than we can handle. And then we allow ourselves to kind of get into that mode of burnout. But we have to understand that prioritizing helps us create those boundaries, whether we can see them or we can't. And being open and flexible will help. Number 2, communicate with your employer and your family. Now, effective communication is crucial for any type of relationship, but especially with balancing family and jobs, right? Your careers. By keeping both your employer, your company, your family, your friends in the loop, you can ensure that everybody agrees that they see what's happening and they support it. Start by having that open, remember, honest conversation with your job about your household responsibilities. You know, if you are responsible for picking the kids up from school and that's right in the timeline of your regular day, any meetings or anything that could have probably, might be, hey, we're going to have this after work meeting. It's like, oh, I'm not going to be able to attend because I pick my kids up on a regular day at my regular time and it works out. You might have childcare, daycare, kindergarten, whatever. They got so many different after school programs, extracurricular, but you got to make sure that you communicate. And yes, life happens. So sometimes you might have to leave a little late, and sometimes you can be blessed to be able to work a little later over. But you have to communicate. And this has to include flexible work hours, the ability to work from home, or the option to take a leave of absence. And in today's time, they do have a lot of businesses and organizations that have that opportunity for mothers and fathers to take that absence of leave. Employers who value their employees understand the importance of a work-life balance and are more likely to accommodate these requests when they're really actually requests and not you just want to get off work early, you want to go hang out with your friends, you're trying to do all those things. No, we're talking about work-life balance. When you do your me time, I got to do me, do that on your vacation time, do that on your personal time. But when you're talking about your family, the people who depend on you, be open and honest. I think that in today's time, employers are more open. They'd rather have you and work it out and be flexible than lose you, especially if you are a dynamic worker. And by keeping your employer and family informed, you can ensure that everyone works together for a common goal. And it will help you create that fulfilling work-life balance. Number 3, make use of your flexible work arrangements. Now listen, don't take advantage of it. Flexible work arrangements can be a valuable tool for women, especially seeking balance. Okay? Because a lot of the times, and I am the fellas, I mean, this is what it is. It's truth. I hope you're not going to be too disappointed. But a lot of times, y'all don't factor in y'all schedules. I got to pick the kid up or the kids up. I got to get the kid to and from. I got to, no, y'all, some of y'all, not all of y'all, some of y'all just expect it. Like, oh, I know my wife will do it, or my girlfriend will do it, my fiance will do it. Well, what about you doing it? What if we took that same approach? Would it be reciprocated? Would you feel like, oh, okay, it's cool? No, you might not. So don't just, because we're women, because we're the wives or we're the fiancés or the girlfriends, don't just assume, right? We want to make sure that we create a well-balanced relationship, okay? And while we're managing that flex time from home, this could include working from home, adjusting your hours, or taking advantage of part-time work. Sometimes you might have to give up that full-time job, get a part-time job to create that balance if you have a job that does not support the work-life balance. You got some jobs and some organizations that are led by tyrants, that it works good for them or people they know, but it don't work for everybody, and that's unfair. And a lot of times that's why those businesses and organizations crumble. It starts with leadership, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, leadership. But I'll say this, when considering your flexible work schedule, there are no one-size-fit-all solutions, okay? Because the best approach, I think, one of the best would be to figuring out the need and circumstance of your specific. Because we all could have children or a child and all go to school, but your child may stay after school for a certain amount of time and you have to be there a certain amount of time, or you may have to be there right at dismissal, you might have to do early pickup. It just depends. You might be a carpool person. You might say, hey, every Monday I carpool, I'm the driver. Okay, so on Mondays you come in a little later, or I pick them up. Okay, on Mondays you got to leave a little earlier. Work-life balance, right? It's important to find what works best for you. Again, remember that. It's important to find out what works best for you. Okay? Now we are on what? Number 4 now. Okay? Number 4, practice self-care. We've talked about this several times in several different shows. Practicing self-care is essential. It is the way that we balance our work, our career, our family, ourselves. And ladies, we got to take time to care for ourselves. We always often put ourselves on the back burner, right? You got to sneak that in. The kids at school, if you're a homemaker, you got to sneak that in. If you are that parent, that mom, and you got to pick the kids up right after school, it's like, oh my God, you don't have that time. Hopefully you got them children or that child on a bed schedule, and when you lay them down or put them to bed, then you make sure before you do anything else, right after that, you say, I'm about to take this next 30 minutes. Give yourself 30 minutes at the minimum. Don't be like, I took 5 minutes, I took 10. That's nothing. Take half an hour at minimum. Run yourself a bubble bath. Soak. Take a hot shower. If you have a patio or a balcony, sit on there. Take in the night breeze. If it's too cold because it's in the dead of winter, you get creative. Take a car ride If your spouse is there, whatever that looks like, at some point, I think at the end of the day would be great because you're able to unwind and just relax. But sometimes you might have to take it during the daytime. You might have to take it on an off-peak time. Self-care is taken in many forms, okay? From physical, exercising, to healthy eating, to spa days and getaways, to stress reduction techniques. For example, you may prefer to start your day with a workout. I know a lot of people that go to the gym at the crack of dawn, before dawn, because they're like, well, I don't have time to go after work, after school, whatever. And I get that because I'm getting ready to get back in the gym. And my husband's like, you got to find out what works best for you. Yes, I do want to go and work out with my husband, and sometimes our son goes, but that might not always work. And he's more like, I like to work out when you guys are at school and work. So we have to find that balance. So because he's an avid workout person and getting ready to get back in the swing of things, he said, I'll be willing to go twice a day. Once while you guys are gone, and he said that's when I'll probably just kind of do my lifting, things like that. But when you guys are coming in the afternoon, if that's what you're choosing, then that's when I'll do like my treadmill, bicycles, aerobic classes, things of that nature. So I'm like, okay, that's what's up. And remember, setting aside time for this is important. And it's going to help you reduce stress and anxiety, and it's going to help you create that level of balance you need for you. Number 5, seek support when needed. Now, we struggle with this one, y'all. What's the thing we say, y'all? I got it. Oh, I'm good. I'm straight. And they ask, you need any help? No, I got it. But you want to like, oh my God, yeah. But do you feel like I'm supposed to have it? Are you? Who taught us that? Some of us have to be reprogrammed, rewired from the things we were taught, whether it was taught healthy or unhealthy. Balancing home and career can be a big challenge, especially if you don't have a support group. So if you have a support group, you want to take advantage of that. Not advantage like manipulation, but advantage of it's okay to say you need help. And if you don't have a support group, seek support, right? That might even come from a counselor, a therapist, pastor, priest, minister. Mental health is an important aspect of being well. And so from time to time, when we neglect ourselves, we're neglecting the support we need. And some people may feel like that's a sign of weakness to say I need help. But whoever taught you that was ignorant and wrong. By seeking support when you know you need it, you are actually taking a really productive big girl, big boy approach to managing the demands of your life. So don't be afraid to ask for help and support. There's people that's waiting for that. But again, as I said, don't take advantage and be manipulative. So if you say, hey, can you watch my son or my daughter or my kid or my kids? I need to run to the office, or I got to go to work and do this, that, and third. And I should be getting off about 5, hypothetically. Walk with me, run with me, y'all. But they say, hey, it's a slow day. You get to leave at 1. You may say, you know what? I rarely get the opportunity to leave early and have some me time. They're already over at so-and-so until 5. A little after 5, because if you're getting off at 5, you got to have travel time. So you may say, I'm going to go ahead and get me some me time. I'm going to get me a happy hour drink, or I'm going to get me a bite to eat, and then I'll make a full healthy dinner for them, or whatever that looks like. I still say that it's fair to the person or the people that's watching your child or children to say, hey, they let us go a little early, and I know we were going to keep him or her or them until after 5 when I will get off, but do you mind if I just take an hour and just get me some me time in? Sit down and have a nice little happy hour, or a nice little appetizer, a cup of coffee at your favorite coffee house, whatever that looks like. Go home, take a shower, go home, take a bubble bath, and I'll come get them. Get her, him. When we're open and honest and we let people know that's what we need, I don't think I know anybody that'll tell you that. Especially because it's just you saying, hey, I got off at 1 o'clock. I ain't supposed to get off at 5. You just opened up that person who agreed to take your child or children in for those hours so you could work or whatever. They would be more compelled to say the next time, hey, I don't mind. Because if you do get out early, you don't take advantage of that. And that's huge. Remember, we want to provide and create the work-life balance where we can be proud, where we can be functioning appropriately. Well, that's all I got for you on this beautiful day. I hope that you have a great day wherever you're going, whether it's work or school. If you just got off of work and you're riding in, I know some people have told me they use my podcast show for their drive-in, and I'm like, I'm honored when I hear that. So join me right here for tomorrow's episode. You never know who's going to be coming through or what you're going to hear, but it's guaranteed to be a great show. It's your girl, TT from the D, and I'll see you soon.